Hello and welcome to Will Watches. This is Donnie Darko. So I'm going into this pretty much blind. I know it's kind of spooky a little bit, and there's this like rabbit man, like a man in a rabbit costume, and I know Jake Gyllenhaal's in this when he was like really young as well. But that's like pretty much it. I know it's got like, I kind of know the vibes, like the spooky vibes, but the actual plot I really don't know. So before we jump into this, be sure to check out the Patreon page. Over there you can find 1 week early access. You can also find polls so you can vote for what's next. And you can find a full-length timer-based version of this where you just sync up your own footage and you can watch along with me. So yeah, let's just jump right in. I mean, if you're going to choose a place to fall off your bike, it might as well be with a lovely view. That's a cool shot. It looks like he's still in his pajamas as well. Is he running away from home, perhaps? Or something sudden's happened where he's had to run out of the house quick on his bike. Okay, so it's set during Halloween. Where's Donnie? I'm assuming Donnie is the name of the like rabbit guy.
I'm voting for Dukakis.
Oh, and it is Maggie Gyllenhaal. I wasn't sure at first if it was actually her.
Donnie, you're such a dick.
Okay, so he is Donnie.
You want to tell Mom and Dad why you stopped taking your medication?
You're such a fuck ass.
Okay, so he's in therapy and taking medication. I'm guessing he's seeing this rabbit guy in his head.
Where do you go at night?
You just get out of my room.
Did you toilet paper the Johnson's house?
Is that what you came in here to ask me?
He just goes off on adventures at night.
What happened to my son? I don't recognize this person today.
Then why don't you start taking the goddamn pills?
I mean, that's something parents have to deal with a lot is, you know, their kids growing up and changing, getting an attitude in their teenage years. They just want their, like, sweet little child, don't they? But that's not how it is.
Wake up.
Well, that's cool. Getting to see the pupil dilate as well. And there's a little flash of the rabbit guy.
Come closer.
So is this a regular occurrence every night? He just sleepwalks? Maybe he thinks he's sleepwalking, but there's something more going on here. I don't know if this is just, him hearing voices in his head, or if there is actually like an entity, a ghost or something telling him this.
28 days.
On Halloween.
That is when the world will end.
Why?
Okay. So world's ending on Halloween. I love this like creepy smile there as well. I actually can't tell how old she's supposed to be because they mentioned her husband, but I can't tell if that was just tongue-in-cheek and that's her boyfriend. Oh! This must be a vision or something. Was there an actual earthquake? And now she's going to be exposed for sneaking out.
Are you alright, son?
Oh, that's the time, 28 days. 6 hours, 42 minutes. Well, this is the night when he took his medication. So is the sleepwalking a side effect of his medication?
No one's allowed through here. This is my house. Said no one's allowed house.
So it was only their house? Like a gas explosion or something? Oh? Okay. Yeah, it was kind of fate that he was out that night. He would have died if he had actually stayed in like his mum wanted.
Kids, come on, we're going to hotel.
They don't know where it came from.
Yeah, so there isn't a plane missing an engine anywhere.
It fell from the plane. Then what happened to the plane?
They don't know, Samantha.
Yeah, there's something more going on.
Can we get on television if we sue the airline?
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing. They could probably get a fat check from this. Obviously, the insurance from the house, but if they connect it to the airline...
Frankie Fiedler. He died.
Everyone's got alliterative names.
They said he was doomed. They could be saying the same thing about Donnie.
Is there some connection?
He dodged his bullet, Ross.
Yeah, I'm surprised they're like even sleeping in a separate room. They'd like want to keep him as close by as possible.
Somebody was watching over him.
Yeah, this rabbit guy. I still don't have a name. I don't know what to call him.
Oh my god. Okay, tell me everything. I'm not allowed to talk about it. My god.
Yeah, of course, he's going to be the center of attention all day at school.
Go back to China, bitch.
Just leave her alone.
Okay, at least Donnie's actually standing up for her. What a haircut. Oh, wow. I mean, I've got a mullet too, but it's not like that.
Destruction is a form of creation, so the fact that they burn the money is ironic. They just want to see what happens when they tear the world apart.
Some people just want to watch the world burn.
Sit next to the boy you think is the cutest.
Quiet.
She's got a bit of sass, this teacher. Yeah, we're getting our little romance here.
Construction guys say it'll take about a week to fix the roof. Damn airline better not fuck us on the shingle match.
Okay, that's not too bad. I guess you need to do some interior work as well to fix his room. I thought I heard die soon in there, but not exactly sure.
Then he said that the world was coming to an end.
Do you think the world is coming to an end?
I feel like she'll interpret that as suicidal, like his world is coming to an end.
For 2 years, I thought it was normal for a 10-year-old to wet the bed. We tried everything.
Yeah, you can't expect the school kids to take it seriously. Yeah, seeing more flashes of Frank and water. Okay, flood coming. Oh, yeah, it's the school flooded and giant. It is a creepy design, it's cool. Especially like the teeth. So that was him like actually flooding the school there, or like him having a vision of doing that.
Mama said the school is closed today because it's flooded.
Is there any way they can tie it to him though? Figure out who it was. Oh!
That's solid bronze, isn't it? Yep.
Gotta take some force to do that. They made me do it. Okay.
And they found feces everywhere. What are feces? Baby mice.
Has anyone ever told you that you're sexy? I like your boobs.
Is that Seth Rogen? It's so weird seeing him so young.
School is canceled.
Do you want to walk me home?
Good excuse to talk to each other.
Oh, I have those too. What kind of emotional problems does your dad have?
He stabbed my mom 4 times in the chest.
Yeah, he's not doing a good job of selling himself, is he?
I'll write a book and draw the pictures. Then maybe people understand me.
He wants to be able to express himself, yeah.
I'm going home.
Hasn't got the Riz yet. Oh, are they calling people like investigating about the... Oh, checking the handwriting. That's pretty clever actually. But like when it's drawn on that big scale with the graffiti, it's never gonna be the exact same handwriting as just a normal handwriting. Although the M's on his handwriting were quite distinctive actually, that pointy bit.
I didn't say shit. Yeah, well, that's not what I heard. They think I did it.
Yeah, of course they think he did it. He's like the school bully.
Papa Smurf didn't create Smurfette. Gargamel did. She was sent in as Gargamel's evil spy.
He knows his stuff.
Smurfs are asexual. They don't even have...
Yeah. They're just smooth down there.
You know, what's the point of living if you don't have a dick? Just walks back and forth the mailbox.
What's she waiting for though? Letter from a dead husband or something like that?
In this story, several children destroy an elderly man's house from inside out.
Oh and she thinks it's encouraging them or encourage this.
They flood the house by breaking through a water main.
I mean, but there's so many things kids can take inspiration from.
Curriculum.
It's meant to be ironic.
Excuse me, you need to go back to grad school.
Yeah, she actually understands the context of the book.
They are in great danger.
Kidding. You even know.
Yeah, Frank's action actually is like almost saving people, because it saved Donnie before when they got him to sleepwalk and saved him from the engine. So is Frank actually trying to save people from the end of the world?
Do you believe in time travel?
Oh, is there time travel in this? Frank is from the future. That would make sense, how he knows all of this. I do always love time travel stories. Now it's got me thinking back on other scenes, you know, could any of them be out of sequence?
Who cares if Ling Ling returns the wallet and keeps the money? Has nothing to do with either fear or love.
Yeah.
There are other things that need to be taken into account here, like
Ling Ling's financial situation, yeah.
You don't complete the assignment, you'll get a 0 for the day.
She seems scared there.
I'll tell you what he said. He asked me to forcibly insert the Lifeline exercise card into my anus.
Oh, did he? Look at that grin on his face as well. He definitely did. Dad loved that anyway.
But after witnessing your son's behavior this afternoon, I have significant doubts about your...
Oh, don't start with parenting as well.
I urge you to go home and look in the mirror and pray that your son doesn't succumb to the path of fear.
She sounds just like a religious, I don't know what to call it. It's like she's part of a religious cult.
Do you know anything about time travel?
And Shreve is listening in on this.
The basic principles of time travel are there. You've got your vessel and your portal, and your vessel could be just about anything, most likely a spacecraft.
Like a DeLorean?
Metal craft of any kind.
I bet it's nice for the teachers to see him like enthusiastic about learning here.
She became this entirely different person. She up and left the church. She wrote this book.
Oh, Sparrow.
Roberta Sparrow?
That's right.
Really? Okay. She's not expecting a letter from the future, is she? So I'm thinking maybe Frank is like, he can't physically time travel, but he can send messages into the past, and like that's how he's communicating with Donnie here. Or is that what's going to happen at the end of the world?
Donnie, what did Roberta Sparrow say to you?
she said that every living creature on Earth dies alone.
Okay.
I could spend my whole life debating it over and over again, weighing the pros and cons, and in the end, I still wouldn't have any proof, so I just don't debate it anymore.
I mean, is he ever alone if he's got Frank?
And so his tapes have made me realize that for the last 39 years, I have been a prisoner of my own fear.
Cunningham's really, yeah, he's influencing everyone. Oh.
By the way, this week on a special Who's the Boss, starring Tony Danza and Judith Light.
Is he like, is kind of seeing the path he takes, seeing into the future a little bit? Is that what that's kind of visualizing? Is this him gaining some time travel-ish powers then? Or like time-related powers? What's it leading him to? He does this really good kind of like vacant stare. Oh. I mean, it seems like everything that's happening, it seems to be for the greater good. I was just thinking there, like, what if that engine that fell into his room was, like, displaced out of time somehow? Like, the plane that just went overhead crashed, but then the engine went back in time into his room somehow? Manipulated living.
Do you go someplace familiar?
So, Donnie is the manipulated living? I mean, he's kind of being manipulated by Frank.
Because entirely too many young men and women today are completely paralyzed by their fears.
The music in the background, I noticed it earlier as well, but the music in the background sounds like the Watch for Rolling Rocks music from that video. That's such a great video. It just keeps reminding me of that.
Searching for love in all the wrong places. His name was Frank.
Oh? Searching for love in all the wrong places. We saw Frank holding a gun there, and we saw Donnie holding a gun. Yeah, he was experiencing time super fast there.
I sometimes worry that she eats too much. Shut up, Kim. I'm just trying to help you.
Oh, sweetheart, please.
Is that Ashley Tisdale?
I think you're fucking Antichrist.
Yeah, of course. Everyone loves him for that. He's gonna get expelled eventually, though.
And everything he says is just a fucking lie. Everything he says. Everyone thinks he's so rad.
Yeah, he was just like fully exposing his like self-help grift motivational speaker thing, yeah.
And there are chapters in that book that describe the stuff I've been seeing, and it can't just be a coincidence.
So in the book, it said water was the transitional element for time travel, and it's making me think of him flooding the school. Is that something to do with it? Some way to activate the time travel? But the school's like fully dried up now, isn't it? Oh, that's the artifact. So that's come from an like parallel universe.
If we were able to see our destinies manifest themselves visually, then we would be given a choice to betray our chosen destinies.
Yeah, is there actually free will or not?
Anyone seen in this school reading this book will be suspended. But not to worry. Someone has already pre-ordered a dozen copies at the Sarasota Mall bookstore.
So they can just go pick up their own and read it in their spare time.
Maybe you and Frank can read this one together.
Oh yeah, about rabbits. I feel like there might be something more going on with Trita as well, just because she listened in on that one conversation, and then there's another shot where they were talking, and we saw her like in the shot. Will he actually gain any of these powers? Mind control? He's seeing that path though, yeah. Yeah, they even kind of have him step into that role there. That's cool. Oh, this is the wallet scenario, yeah.
Now you know where he lives.
Will he take the money?
Didn't your dad, like, stab your mom?
I'm surprised there were more people in the school that knew about this.
Gretchen! Gretchen! Sorry about those guys.
Yeah, there's the moment she was waiting for. Him being kind.
2 for Evil Dead, please.
$2, I wish. It's like 11 quid normally. It's hard to find one for a £5 where I live. Frank's here. Okay.
Why are you wearing that stupid bunny suit?
You gotta hide his identity. I am wondering, like, if Frank is from the future, is it like a future version of Donnie that's in the suit to like disguise himself, obviously, or if it's someone we know? It could be anyone, really.
We're just gonna stop.
You should already know that.
Yeah. There's been the countdown to it.
There's something I want to show you.
Yeah, he's like teaching him lessons along the way, isn't he?
Have you ever seen a portal?
Oh? Can he go through, or someone else is gonna come through?
Burn it to the ground.
Okay. Burn what? The cinema? It did say in the book the receiver will gain like pyrokinetic powers as well, potentially. Just gonna leave Gretchen in there. Not to burn alive, I hope. See, initially I was thinking, well, everything that Frank's telling him to do is kind of for the greater good, but what benefit does burning Cunningham's house gain? And if Cunningham has some role in the death of the planet, universe or something. I mean, there is also just the possibility that this is all in his head. All of this, everything he's experiencing, and there isn't actually any time travel going on. Oh, and then back before the movie ends. Yeah, that's a perfect alibi. The manipulated dead. Okay. Donnie's the manipulated living, but who's the manipulated dead?
You're not crazy. I used to be crazy.
He doesn't have similar experiences, does he?
They're all part of this great big conspiracy. Bullshit. They're scared of people like you.
We've kind of seen how the dad encourages him a little bit. He finds the same things funny, like telling that teacher to shove the book up her arse.
Now, firefighters discovered what has been referred to as a kiddie porn dungeon.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah, so maybe it was for the best. They got him caught. It seems like she's always there observing. She's always catching these moments and things. They don't have links to the ring as well, do they? Obviously they're still going to be shocked, especially the one that was like encouraging the kids to watch all of his content, you know? And they brought him into the school.
When the other rabbits hear of Fiver's vision, do they believe him?
Why should we care? A rabbit's not like us. You know, it has no history books, no photographs, no...
Doesn't have sentience like us, but in the movie they kind of do because they talk to each other.
I mean, I just don't see the point in crying over a dead rabbit.
He's going to be crying over Frank at the end, maybe.
Rose, I'm sure that you're aware of the horrible allegations against Jim Cunningham.
She's not defending him, using the words allegation.
Some kind of conspiracy to destroy an innocent man. And I have taken it upon myself to spearhead the Jim Cunningham defense campaign.
Really? I mean, she hasn't even seen like the evidence, you know, firsthand. She doesn't know that it's a conspiracy. She's just believing that she's been bought into his ideology so much. Finally writing his letter. I'm surprised it took this long. There's only like 4 days left. I love all of these sunset shots though, including all these like pink skies.
Of all the phrases in the English language, of all the endless combinations, cellar door is the most beautiful.
It's like the opportunity of what's in the cellar. Makes you wonder about that. What's in the basement? And she's still there observing.
One day, everything's gonna be better for you.
Shut up!
Okay. Oh, does she have a crush on him? She's had a crush this whole time. I mean, he was the only one that was ever like nice to her compared to his friends.
I flooded my school and I burned down that pervert's house.
Oh, he's confessed. Okay.
Did Frank tell you to do these things?
I have to obey him. He saved my life.
Yeah.
I have to obey him or I'll be left all alone.
If he's alone, he'll die.
An atheist is someone who denies altogether the existence of God. You're an agnostic.
Well, it's almost like Frank is his god. Oh, that's not those two, the bullies. Seth Rogen and the other guy. I don't think I ever actually learned his name, the guy with the mullet. I thought he was off on another mission there when he puts his hood up. So it's happened. I still don't know who the manipulated dead are.
She didn't leave a note, and the house was all messed up.
Yeah, could it have been her dad finding them somehow?
Hey, have you guys seen Frank?
Frank.
Samantha was amazing. Anyway, gonna take the red eye back tonight. And we all...
Ah, yeah, they're gonna be there in the morning. Therefore, they're longer. He still hasn't had any, like, correspondence with Sparrow, has he? He's seeing a car crash as well. Was she seeing any of that?
Cellar door.
What?
Is that just coincidence, or was the teacher planting a message? Maybe we'll run into Sparrow and get a bit of an exposition dump of what's actually going on. I don't know, I'm kind of expecting a jump scare here for some reason. All these corners, oh! Yeah, there was, okay. Oh, these are just the two bullies, isn't it?
Don't fucking move! Don't fucking move! What did I say?
Okay, why are they doing this though?
Seth, there's a car coming. Let's go.
It's funny that his name's Seth.
Did you call the fucking cops? Mark, what did you just say?
Yeah, Deus Ex Machina here. Doesn't look like cops. Oh! Who even is this? Is that Gretchen dead? I mean, like, it saved Donnie, but at her expense.
Frank.
And this is Frank. Was Frank the one driving?
What were you guys doing in the middle of the road, huh? What are you thinking?
And yeah, he shot him in the eye. Does Donnie then send this Frank back through time to try and stop all this from happening? I mean, that kind of happens anyway. Sparrow can help. And portal in the sky. And there it is. Oh yeah, the dead body's there. Have they connected it to Donnie, or are they just going there because of this weird portal cloud? They have no idea what it is. And that's the water, the medium for the time travel. Oh! Yeah, the engine and it came backwards through time. Oh my god, yeah. I can't believe I didn't put that together when they were saying about a plane, getting the plane there. He went through the portal and landed on his roof. Oh, are we seeing everything in reverse here? But this version, he was actually home and died. And that kind of severs the loop that we kind of followed throughout the whole movie. So they've all had dreams of like what just happened, of that tangent universe. Hopefully that's a wake-up call for Cunningham to turn himself in. People run in circles. I'm surprised Frank didn't turn out to be like a character we already knew, you know, with all that time travel stuff happening. Did he maybe actually survive that? I mean, they're bringing him out on like a stretcher maybe. The dreams of which I'm dying are the best I've ever had. Is that Gretchen there? I guess that means she lived, but she never actually got to meet Donnie.
Horrible accident. My neighbor got killed.
Oh, he did die. Okay, so that was Donnie Darko. Let's try and make some sense of that ending. Of course, time travel, they're going to try and confuse us as much as possible. It's really cool the moment when they reveal that it is actually a time travel film. Whenever you kind of find out, it recontextualizes everything that's happened before, because now there could be things that are happening kind of out of timeline, you know? I did expect maybe the first scene to come up again. Maybe it would like bookend itself or something like that, with that first scene where he just kind of wakes up in the middle of nowhere when he was riding his bike. But I think that's just to introduce us to the concept of him sleepwalking and waking up in the middle of nowhere, you know? So the whole film actually took place in the Tangent universe, and when Frank was saying that the world is going to end, he means that the Tangent universe will collapse. And we saw at the start, they explained that a Tangent universe would collapse after a few weeks, which explains, you know, there's only a month to do all of this. The Tangent universe would collapse and form into a black hole, and it would destroy the primary universe as well as the Tangent universe. So if Donnie hadn't done any of this, both universes would have been destroyed. So in reality, Donnie kind of had the choice of destroying both universes or saving one and dying in the primary one anyway. So that kind of comes back around to that conversation they had at the start of the film about determinism and do you actually have free will, which it turns out he kind of didn't. It's like he was destined to die anyway, but he still actually had a bit of a choice there. He could choose how he would die and what the consequences of that would be. So instead of him choosing to die in a way that would destroy both universes, he decided to die in a way that would save one. I don't think they ever really explain in the movie how the Tangent universe formed. I don't know if there is actually some sort of event that causes that to happen, or is it just like a random thing that happens just out of the blue randomly throughout timelines, you know? And Donnie, he makes that decision by getting into the bed, right? That's kind of why he's laughing, why he's getting into the bed there. It's because he knows that he's gonna die and this is how to save everyone. It didn't seem like he actually had much agency in the Tangent universe to kind of cause that to happen, to cause the engine to fall off and fall through, and then him to get put back into the primary universe. Like, I don't think it wasn't really him who was opening that portal, and he had no control over the engine like falling off the plane, right? I know there was like some rituals he was doing influenced by Frank by like flooding the school, and they said that water was the kind of material that encourages the time travel. It's like the medium for time travel. But I don't know if him flooding the school actually influenced that in any way. I'm not quite sure there. But in the end, he does choose to get into the bed and save the primary universe. I mean, if he hadn't got into the bed, it would have just been like a time loop, and he'd go through everything that we saw in the movie that happened in the Tangent universe, and then it would all collapse in on itself, right? So it was all just like a time loop, right? But also like the memories of the Tangent universes went over into the primary universe, and we see like Jim there. He was like really stressed out, obviously, because he got caught with everything that he'd done. And we see a few other characters. I thought it was funny, we saw Trita. She was actually like smiling there, and I do wonder if she knows a little bit more than she was letting on. None of that was really explained, but just through her actions, it's like she was eavesdropping in on a few conversations, and there was a few things that maybe led me to believe that she knew more than she was letting on. One thing that I'm not sure if it was explained or maybe I just missed was everything going on with Frank, because we learned who Frank was. He was just this guy who had run over Gretchen, but they never really explained how Frank was like communicating with Donnie, because Frank wasn't actually like physically time traveling there, was he? He was only kind of sending a message through to Donnie. But I am wondering, like, is that Frank just all in Donnie's head because that Frank had the hole in his eye from where he'd been shot by Donnie? So was that just like a vision that Donnie was seeing? And maybe because I'd thought that after that had happened, after Gretchen got hit by Frank, I thought Donnie would like force Frank to be sent back somehow, and that's how Frank was like messaging him. But I'm not quite sure there. I'm not quite sure what's going on with Frank at the end there, and how Frank is talking to Donnie, or if it even is Frank. Is it just a version of Frank that's in Donnie's head, you know? But yeah, Donnie saved this primary universe from all of these horrible things. Obviously the destruction of everything, but it probably saved them from everything that happened with Jim as well. I'm assuming there was even like, they said they'd caught Jim with all of this stuff, right? But I have this feeling that there was like even more to that, the way he was like bringing the kids up onto the stage potentially to like groom them and things like that, you know. And I did realize, you know, they had that whole returning the wallet dilemma, and I just had another thought about that. So they had the returning the wallet dilemma, and obviously Donnie said, well, there's lots more context. It's not just good and bad, the fear and the love, like Jim's like ideology he was teaching. There's like a lot of three-dimensional other aspects to that, which I agree with. You know, there's financial situations to consider. There's loads of things you can consider there. But when it came to Donnie's turn, when he actually found the wallet, if he had returned the wallet, what would have happened to him? Because he's returning the wallet to this guy who is a predator, and he would have been alone. So him not returning the wallet was probably the best outcome in that situation, kind of proving that ideology wrong. But then a thought I just had was that Jim is teaching all of these things to kids, right? So was his wallet being left there like an intentional plant? Like he was teaching the kids it's a good thing to return the wallet, then he'll leave his wallet out, and then the kids will see the wallet, think, oh yeah, I should return it, just like Jim said, and then that's his chance to like trap them, kidnap them, whatever. That's a really scary thought. I don't know, like that's just kind of speculation on my part. I don't know if that was like a planned thing for the movie. And then we had Miss Death Sparrow, who wrote this book about everything, and I'm assuming she is a living receiver, which is the same as what Donnie was, and she has had some experience with time travel as well. They never really explain it, of course, it's all up to interpretation, but it does seem like she is a time traveler as well, because all of this, you know, her book, it all seems like it is like from her first-hand knowledge. So I'm guessing she went through a similar situation to Donnie. There was like a tangent universe that she went and she fixed and actually survived out of that, and then wrote about all of these things that she learned and created these terms, the manipulated dead and the living receiver. She kind of coined those terms after figuring out how it all works. I feel like that's the case. It feels like it must be first-hand experience. None of that was fictional in that book, right? Unless it was just all a massive coincidence that she writes a book about time travel and it just fits with Donnie's story perfectly, you know, that's just too much of a coincidence. But then also we learn that the living receiver has like certain powers, but we don't really see Donnie use any of those powers. We only see one, which is him like seeing the people's timelines when they have this like bubble coming out of their chest, but we never really see him creating fire and creating water. He could as well, and he had like telekinetic abilities. We never really see any of those, so I don't know how true those are. And I do wonder, like, are there any other hints to other characters being living receivers if they had these powers, and maybe you could notice certain things? Because there was like the teacher Karen, and she intentionally pointed to him about the cellar door, and the cellar door is like how he got into Sparrow's house. So like, how much did Karen know? Was that just a coincidence again? Was that just like the timeline pointing him there? Or was she manipulated by something telling her to write the cellar door, and that would manipulate Donnie? Because, you know, there's so much time travel shenanigans happening here. It could be a version of Donnie manipulating her to say that to influence Donnie to go and do that, you know? But like, is there a possibility that she is a living receiver as well, or someone else's, and we just didn't notice, and maybe on a rewatch you'll notice? I don't think you'd see like someone in the background using telekinesis, but there might be clues that you could pick up on. So I think it all comes back to that kind of free will aspect. Donnie, he was destined to die, but he also still had a little bit of free will in there, the free will to save the rest of the universe, and I think more importantly to save Gretchen, you know. And it turns out that, of course, in the primary timeline they actually never met, you know. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, consider leaving a like or a comment. I especially want to hear your thoughts, any other theories. Are there anyone else in the movie that you think could be time travelers, or any explanation on what exactly was going on with Frank? You know, there's still a lot of questions that I have that need answering. Maybe there aren't actually like specific answers, but I'd love to hear your interpretations. So yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you next time. Bye.